Hi there, Todd here again, and our next step on our travel videos is that of finding a place to stay, booking accommodation. There's all sorts of stuff to say about this. Not to mention all the ranges of accommodation that you can look for. So I'm going to start off by talking about some of the various ranges of types of accommodation you can go for, and then I'm going to focus in on hotels and how to find a good deal on hotels. So how can we stay in a place that is somewhere exotic, somewhere around the world? There's a long list. On the cheapest side, there's an app called Couchsurfing, where you simply go couch surfing. People will offer a space in their home for you to sleep and stay, and in return, the sort of implicit expectation is that you will do the same when you're back home and you'll offer people a place as well. A step up from that, perhaps, is the concept of house sitting. I'm going to go on a vacation, I'm going to have my house all empty. I'd like someone to come in, mind the house, walk the dog, pick up the mail, all that kind of things. You are a traveler that wants to see a brand new location. You could have a house of your own, complete with a wonderful little dog, and with the minor thing of doing some chores and keeping the house clean and well taken care of, you have a place of your own. From there, we get into something like an Airbnb. It's very popular, it's very well known, but it's basically the concept of people can rent out rooms or apartments or entire houses, and you just simply pick them up based on where you want to be. And it's a spot outside, mostly outside of the tourist areas, a little bit more like home. If you are interested in doing something like a hotel but want to do it a little bit cheaper, there's something called hostels. The best app that I've seen for this is called Hostel World, and it gives a listing of thousands of hostels with all of the amenities, all of the prices, and lots of reviews. Another option is getting something like a YHA card, a Youth Hostel Association, or an International Hosteling International card, and that will give you a whole other network of hostels. Myself, I love hostels. I think they're the best way to go. Me being a little bit older and a little bit more private though, what I tend to do is I get a private room within a hostel so that I'm not sharing the room with 3 or 5 or 7 other people, but at the same time I'm in a location where there's all sorts of people whose only thing that they're doing is traveling, seeing the world, seeing the sights. So maybe they just came from the place you're going to next, or maybe they want to know about the place where you are. Hostels themselves tend to be a really good source of information on all sorts of things around the town. They've got a lot of them have links to free walks, free neighborhood walks, free events, and all sorts of workshops so that you can have a genuine experience of what's going on in the area around you. So I would suggest hostels. Personally, I find it's a lot more networked. You get to know a lot more of the people, you get to meet a lot more travelers, but at the same time, it gives you a little bit of space and privacy when you have a room of your own. So those are all options you can do if you're not into hoteling. If you are into hotels, I want to give you my recommendations. And just on a quick note and a quick shout out, I'm going to include a link underneath to Nomadic Matt, from whom I got all sorts of information from his books and his blogs and his websites. So please feel free, if you want a real expert on this, Nomadic Matt is a place to go. So on to hotels. There are lots of hotel sites, booking sites that you can use. I'm going to tell you my favorites and the ones that got me the best deals. My favorite by far was Agoda. Agoda used to be primarily in Asia, but to be honest, when I was booking hotels in Eastern Europe, I found that Agoda still gave me better prices and more availability than a couple of the other booking sites. So I'm always happy to go with Agoda. They have all sorts of locations at really good rates. Booking.com is also a wonderful process, and they have not only quite a variety of sites, they're all over the world, and there's a number of incentive programs you can do with Booking.com to get you even more points or money back on your accommodation you purchases. There's a couple of other places that are really good. Roomer is another one, Roomer, which is a way of getting rooms sort of last minute. Two of the really good or well-known ones are sites called Hotwire and Priceline, and what they do is they do deeply discounted last-minute stuff. And the interesting thing about Hotwire, which I find cool but what I would never do, is when you go on the site, you tell them what area of town you would like to be in and how many stars you want your hotel to be. So I want to be in a 4-star hotel in right downtown Toronto. That's what I put in, and I add the dates, and it gives me a list of hotels at really good rates, but no names. You then say, I want this one, and once you have booked that room, it then tells you which hotel you're in and where that hotel is. So it's a bit of an adventure, a bit of a grab bag, but personally, I do most of my booking based on location because I want to be in the right spots. So I haven't yet used them, I just find them intriguing. Roomer, like I said, one of the ones where people will, if there's cancellations, if there's excess rooms, they will sell them off like that night, and you can pick up a room at a really good rate, but don't look for it 2 weeks ahead of time because you won't find a whole lot. So if you're in a last minute position and you aren't too sure where you want to go, but you want a good rate for a hotel, look to Roomer because it gets those ones where people have canceled or can't make it. So those are a variety of different ways in which you can find accommodation where you are, anywhere from couch surfing to 5-star hotels and some of my favorite sites. So far you've found the locations you like and why you like them. You've booked yourself a flight, you've booked some self-accommodations, and now we get into the next step of getting ready for your travels. We'll save that for the next video, but in the meantime, take care, have a good day.